I think I'm gonna go psycho mode in a second because I've literally tried to record this video about 12 times now because my camera keeps saying that the storage is full. It's not full. It's not. So stop it. So annoying. Oh, damn. I'm so sorry. Anyways, what is up YouTube? It's your girl T and I am back with another video for you and you and you, and I'm so sorry because that was the worst intro ever. Like, I'm sorry. But anyways, on the good side, I have this video. You thought I did, didn't you? I didn't do, but I'm here. But anyways, so I have this video where I'm answering your questions about my pregnancy as well as after pregnancy. So let's get into it because I don't want to waste anyone's time because these videos can be long sometimes. So I'm going to try and speak quick and get through it quick. So yeah, let's go. So one of the questions I actually had from a previous Q&A that I wanted to say for this video was, how was it like getting back on your feet after giving birth? The truth is, I never got back on my feet. That's the reality. The most getting back on my feet I did was getting out of the hospital to go home. Just because, although I gave natural birth, and I know when you give natural birth, usually a lot of mums are up and running. I wasn't. I had to recover because I had to get stitched up. I lost a lot of blood, and I was still bleeding, and I was in pain, and I was weak. And I had to have family help me out because I had to recover. Honestly, if my camera keeps cutting out, I'm going to dash it. Honestly, I'm getting annoyed now. Sorry. So yeah, so I didn't do much getting back on my feet till later on. Another question that was asked is, what's it like being a young mum? The truth is, I've heard this question before, but I can never answer it simply because I don't get it. Like, I get that, you know, as you grow, you're supposed to mature, but the truth is, like, when you have a child and you're a first time mom, everything's new. So I don't think age comes into it. Like, I feel like you're gonna have to step up regardless your age. Do you know what I mean? And every child is different. They don't come with instructions or manuals. So I feel like you could be 16 and you could be 30 and you can relate in so many ways. So I think it just, I just slapped myself then. So it depends really. But if the question was, how is it like being a mom? Then it's amazing. It's so rewarding, honestly. It's just to even be a mom is such a beautiful thing. I honestly love my son. It's like having a mini me, except he looks like his dad, but he's still my mini me. But yeah, I just love him so much. He's so smart, so energetic and whatnot. But don't get me wrong, it can be challenging because especially when they're becoming toddlers, their energy is on a different level. Like, sometimes I feel like I'm 18 next to my son. Sorry. And also it's so annoying sometimes because you really want to like help your son and whatnot, and sometimes you want to be careful because sometimes they're so energetic they can hurt themselves. So sometimes you're like, well, be careful, don't do this, da da da. And they're looking at you and they're smiling like, I'm still gonna do it, what do you mean? So that's it can be challenging. It can be challenging, but it's still rewarding. Like I said, it's still very rewarding. Another question that I had was, how long was your labor? I was in labor for 6.5 hours, like roughly. Thank goodness for that. Did you get bad stretch marks? I did. I got really bad stretch marks due to the fact that I didn't know about these creams and oils. I should have educated myself and I didn't. And even though I saw my stretch marks growing and growing, instead of looking it up on the internet, I just left it. And now that I know, it's so annoying. I wish I could prevent it. And as much as, you know, my child's father's like, no, you're still beautiful with them, you should have, it's a mark of, you know, you carrying your child and blah 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 blah. Although as beautiful as that is, and I really appreciate him so much for always trying to make me, you know, feel good and things like that, at the end of the day, I'm still self-critical sometimes, and if I could prevent it, I would. The good thing is that it doesn't bother me. I forget about it most of the time, but it's sometimes when I look at it and I acknowledge that it's there, it's like, oh, wow, come on. Should have used those creams, man. But yeah. What cravings you had? So I had very simple cravings. They weren't like bizarre. Now I'm using his words, my child's father's words, bizarre. I never even used that. But yeah, they weren't bizarre. They were very simple. So it's like Taco Bell. I really had a craving for Taco Bell. Had craving for ice lollies, especially the blue ones, and seafood. I used to hate seafood, but till today now, since giving birth and it within my pregnancy, I really, really wanted seafood, and now I just enjoy it. So yeah, that was a turning point. How'd you get rid of the flabs? I didn't. I feel like I still have them. If you can tell me, help me out, because I don't know. Is it painful? Yes, it was very painful. How did you feel throughout the 9 months? So I actually didn't know I was pregnant until 3 months in. So yeah, I didn't have any morning sickness, no symptoms, no nothing. Yes, I missed periods, but I thought it was due to the fact that I had I was stressed. I thought I was stressed at the time. Don't know why, but it can happen. The last thing that would come to my mind is being pregnant, because I had this mentality since being a young age that I couldn't have kids. I don't know why, but it's something that I always believed in. I had no proof of it whatsoever. But yeah, so that would be the last thing. But even being pregnant, throughout those 9 months, it was very chilling. My son didn't give me any problems. It was all good. And that actually goes into relation to another question, which was, what was your reaction when you found out? I didn't have a reaction just because of how I mentioned about my mentality, how I thought that I couldn't have kids. When I actually took the test, because my former friend told me, like, come on, let's take a test, let's see, because you could be. And it came out positive. I was confused as anything. I was so confused. I thought they got it wrong. So when I went to the GP, in my head, I don't know why I thought I was really early in, but I was actually further ahead. So when I found out that I was 3 months, and I saw an actual baby, I was like, there's a baby inside of me? Nah. I was very in denial at first, not because I was rejecting my son or anything like that. No, it's just because I was very confused. And then it actually leads me to the next question. What was the best thing and worst thing about pregnancy? The best thing was actually learning to fall in love with my son, because I was so in denial for so long that when I actually saw my belly starting to grow, and sometimes, not sometimes, but all the time I'll be speaking to my son and he would kick, I kind of started to accept it, and I started to just really fall in love with my son. And then I was getting excited that I couldn't wait for him to come out so I could meet him. So it was just really the process of falling in love with my son. The worst thing about pregnancy would be, I don't know what it's called, but there's this thing that happens when you eat, like on your throat. It just burns. It's almost like it's vomit that wants to come out, but you want to burp out food at the same time. It's nasty. But it was horrible, because not every time, but most times that I wanted to eat, that would happen, and then I wouldn't eat because it was painful. Like, it really hurt. And they said apparently that's because your child's gonna have a lot of hair on his head, which he did, but damn, that wasn't good. Next question. I already answered that. Next question, steps for people who live alone and on a budget. So I'm not saying you need to take my advice. It's not by force. I'm no professional with finances, believe me. But the steps that I would take is, if you get paid, when you get paid, try and get your bill dates to all come out on the same day. If anything, try and get it to come out on the same day as you get paid, or the following day. Just because that's going to save you from getting into risk with any debt or anything like that. So, and sometimes actually it's always best the next day, actually, because sometimes your money might not come in on that day that you're supposed to, and it comes the next day. So around those times would be perfect. If you can't get all your bills onto that same day, it's fine, because I know some companies don't do that. But if you can get it at least to a similar date or close enough date, then that's perfect. Because especially if you're someone that can spend easily, you get tempted easily, then believe me, do that. It will help, because your priority bills have to be your priority bills. Like, you can't be missing those. Like, come on, like, we don't want to be getting in trouble here or having to pay more than we should. So get those paid on that, around that time frame, basically. Also, with gas and electricity, I have mine on a prepaid meter, and I'd rather have it that way, just because I feel like if you pay per month through the company, you never know, sometimes it can go up and down. And imagine if you need those extra pounds, that month and you can't because it's changed. I don't know if you know what I mean. So I feel like prepaid meters are always better. They're pay as you go. You top up when you want, however much you want. You're in control type of thing. So yeah, I would definitely recommend prepaid meters always. Also, in terms of food, for example, I would buy everything in bulk, if that makes sense. Like, I know it's going to be costly in the first month, but it's going to be so beneficial for you later on, because if you, like, when I first moved in, I bought a big sack of pasta, rice. With meats, try and avoid going to Aldi's and things like that. It's always best to go to the butcher and get larger quantities that you can then freeze, and it lasts longer, because when you go to the shops, they have expiry dates, and then sometimes you're just there wasting food. So it's best to get things that you know can last long, because it's going to be cost effective later on. Because whilst you spend that amount of money, even on nappies, big bags of nappies and wipes, next month and the month after you won't need to buy those things because you still have them, and that money that was going towards that, you can spend it on something else. So I always feel like it's smarter to, you know, get tight on that month so that later on it's a lot more beneficial. Just, yeah, literally, just if you could do that, that would be amazing. But it's up to you. Everyone, you know, has the right to live how they want to live. And yeah, also with food for your child as well, I would recommend vouchers. I don't know what the requirements are, but if you look them up on the internet, they're really beneficial. Like I think it's called Sure Start health food vouchers, I'm not sure, but basically they cover up for your month. Every month they send you these vouchers, and you can buy your formula, your milk with it, vegetables if they're already eating, and it saves you so much money as well, because formula and milk can get expensive, believe me. So having vouchers where you don't need to use your own money for it, amazing. So that's what I would recommend if I was you, but look into it, because I don't know the requirements and whatnot. But yeah, I think that's really it, apart from the other silly questions that I have, like, why are you so small, like this person isn't small as well, get out. And what's the best nutrition for a baby that's going to play football in the future? I believe my son's not going to play football. If he wants to, that's completely up to him, that's fine, but I would love if he did something else, really. But so in terms of nutrition, I don't know, because I believe my son's going to do something else. If he's going to go into football, I'll let you know, but I don't know. I don't know, because you're asking for a baby, so I don't know how to answer that. But anyways, I think I've answered everything. I hope you guys have had a good day, or if you're starting your day or ending it, hope it went well or goes well. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Let me know if you want to see something else. And yeah, that's it. Peace out, 'cause I'm out, and bye bye.